today the board came out with a pretty bold statement calling for Governor John Kitzhaber to resign. And it's gaining a lot of traction. Why?
Well, there have been months of revelations about how Kitzhaber's fiancée, Sylvia Hayes, has used public resources, her title, her office, the governor's office, for private gain, in essence. And what has happened in the last couple of weeks is there's a story indicating that she had received $118,000 and mostly previously undisclosed money in the form of a fellowship paid for partly by an organization that has a policy interest in Oregon. That was followed up by the governor's really bizarre news conference in which he intended apparently to answer some questions about that, but answered nothing. And what happened today or yesterday is a story in the Oregonian and on Oregon Live by Nick Budnick and Laura Gunderson, explaining how some of those, how that fellowship and some other work had come about. In essence, the governor's campaign advisors from 2010 arranged to have this work sent Sylvia Hayes' way, and then shortly thereafter received positions in the governor's administration. And for us, that was just enough. I mean, the ethical questions now are so compelling, and he has become such a distraction that, in our view, he really can't continue to lead effectively, and Oregon would be better off if he resigned.
Do you think that he can gain back the public's trust after something like this? What would he have to do? He would never be able to regain the public's trust completely, I think. But this has been going on for months now. His office has, resisted releasing public records, and you just wonder how much more we're going to get. And I think it's just going to it could even get worse. I doubt whether that he could regain his public trust in any meaningful fashion. All right, and just to back up real quickly, you're a member of the Oregonian Editorial Board. Explain what that is for people that don't understand how you can make opinions like that.
Right, so the Editorial Board operates completely independently from the news side of the organization, and we really don't consult with the news side at all. We answer directly to the publisher of the newspaper and the president of Oregon Live. So the Oregonian Editorial Board consists of 5 people. There's me, Helen Jung, Len Reed, Mark Hester, and president and publisher Chris Anderson. So we operate independently. Our business is opinion, and we have no influence on the news side of the news organization, and the news side has no influence on us aside from whatever the news side reports.
And obviously that post on our website is getting a lot of comments. What are people saying?
Well, a lot of people are saying it's about time because we endorsed the governor last year. And at about that time or shortly thereafter, a lot of the Sylvia Hayes stuff sort of started to surface. And a lot of our readers urged us to pull our endorsement, and we didn't. We think he's been in many ways a good governor, and he's capable of incredible leadership. But we just can't maintain that position now. I mean, enough is enough.
Do you think if he was up for reelection now after all this, he would be elected by the public?
Not with a halfway decent opponent. I don't think so.
All right. So where do we go from here? Do you think the governor will respond? Where do we go from here?
It's unclear. He hasn't responded to us yet. Maybe some other. Who knows what reporting will uncover. And I don't know whether any other newspapers would feel inclined to call for his resignation. And if so, whether he'd pay attention. But if he did resign, Kate Brown, who's the Secretary of State, would replace him.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Erik.
Thanks.
And we'll link you to the post, in this post, to that full article.